Namaste, my beautiful angels. Welcome to your special reading and messages for March 2nd to March 8th. Thank you so very much for joining me here this week. So, this week, my darlings, carries a very potent celestial revision. And not somewhat, a very much of a release energy because Mercury is retrograde in Pisces from February 25th, 26th to March 21st. And this retrograde into Pisces is urging review, it's urging inner listening and rethinking the old patterns and stories that we tell ourselves, especially around anything to do with communication, relationships, and intuition. Now, at the same time, on March 3rd, we have a very powerful full moon total lunar eclipse. This is a powerful eclipse in Virgo, opposing the sun in Pisces. This is a potent time this week. This eclipse will amplify in each of our lives endings, emotional purification, and revelations that clear space for what is next in each of our lives. This eclipse energy often brings forward very fast forward momentum. It brings closure and brings very overdue insights out of the subconscious mind. So collectively, for each of us, this week is about diving deep into what's been unresolved, noticing patterns, releasing what no longer serves us, especially anything that is emotional or habitual patterns that we have been holding on to that we know aren't serving our highest good. And this could even mean how we think. It's a whole revision, and it's happening in a grand closure for each of us. This is a very, very powerful week, to say the least, and we're all going to be feeling it. Please make sure that you take time to nurture yourself. You could be feeling more pain mentally, physically, emotionally. You could be feeling off balance because Mercury retrograde in dreamy Pisces often will soften our logic, but it will heighten our intuition. So we may be getting more intuition sparks, or inner messages may feel more powerful than messages that we receive from the external world. Remember that when Mercury is retrograde, regardless of which sign it's in, there will be more miscommunication, issues with technology, transportation, all of these kinds of things can happen. But Mercury retrogrades are an amazing time to do reflection, revision, revisiting, and being very, how can I say, emotionally honest with ourselves. Because I think in dreamy Pisces, we tend to be more illusionary. So another thing I think everybody could be seeing is people coming back from the past, old contacts, even memories, or unfinished conversations that were just kind of left hanging. These kinds of things may resurface for closure and healing in our lives. Okay, so for this week, my darlings, take time to really revisit your intentions rather than pushing forward blindly, right? Edit your plans, your words, your contracts rather than starting something new. Dive into that shadow work, that deep work that you need to do within yourself with compassion and grace. All right, my darlings. And now this, full moon lunar eclipse is definitely going to mark a culmination in each of our lives. So closures, endings, where things that we've been living under, maybe false thoughts, desires, things that haven't served our highest good are going to now start coming to the surface, coming to light. And this full moon lunar eclipse is all about letting go, especially of routines, thoughts, habits, and belief systems that have been really stagnating our growth. Okay, my darling? So this is what this week is about. Please be aware. I do these readings just to bring a little bit of angelic inspiration into each of your lives. But it is a very powerful week with a lot of closures and endings. And when we can identify what needs to be ended in our lives, it's a lot easier. And also if we can have more patience, because during Mercury retrogrades, there are going to be, issues in communication, travel, transportation, technology, all of that stuff, right? So having patience for yourselves and also having patience for others. All right, my darling. So for this week, I'm actually, I had a lot of people message me and tell me that they very much enjoyed last week's reading. And I had used a combination of different cards. So we had messages and guidance from the angels. I did a little bit of abundance. I did a little bit of love, and I think I'm going to stick to the same decks that I used last week, and let's see what we get for this week. Now, please and thank you in advance for taking the time to like, to share, and to subscribe to my channel. It means the world to me, and it keeps me coming back every week to do this. I'm not doing readings right now. I know I have about a 2-year wait, and many people looking to get in. As many of you know, I am a medium, I am a channel, I'm a healer, I'm an Akashic Records practitioner, and when the timing is right, in divine will, that will happen, but it's just not right now. So in the meantime, I am providing these little readings to bring a little bit of inspiration and angelic guidance into your lives. Please always take only that which resonates with you. Leave the rest behind. And this week I'm doing 3 different suits. I tried to have timestamps, so you guys should be able to go right to the timestamps to see the messages for your particular suit. All right, my darling. So I'm going to switch my screen so you can watch me shuffle these cards. All right, here we go. Perfect. All right. So for the very first deck, it is messages from our beloved angels. What do they have to tell us? That one just flew out, as you can see. So this is for suit 1. I call upon the highest, best, most loving ascended masters, angels and guides, the Holy Spirit, the light of God, to please come in, connect with me now, and give us inspirational divine guidance that will serve the highest good for all who are watching this reading. All right, there is 2 and there is 3. All right, so that was the first deck. Here is the second deck. Here we go for suit number 1. No, 2 are coming together. Okay, let's see. It has to be specific. So let's see. This is the one. we go. And I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different decks here, my darlings. For this week, I've stuck with the same decks that I used last week simply because many people had messaged me telling me that it really resonated with them. Suit number 1. Suit number 2. Suit number 3. All right. Now for the last 2 decks, this one here is Heart's Hidden Secrets is what it's called. Heart's Hidden Secrets. Your heart or a loved one's heart. What are the hidden secrets that are coming forward? One. I'm going to go with this one. There we go. And for the very last deck, it is called Love Confession. What does the person that love you, what do they need to say to you? Or what do you need to say to them? Let's see. Two. These are a little hard to shuffle because they're, here we go, perfect. All right, my darling, so now we have all 3 suits shuffled. Again, I do keep timestamps, so if you wanted to pass this part, here is suit number 1, my darlings. Here is suit number 2, and here is suit number 3. All right, so I hope that you've taken a minute to center yourselves and to call upon your spiritual teams of guides, of angels, to assist you in picking the suit that serves your highest good, and you can always pick more than one suit. All right, so let's start now with suit number 1, and I'm going to flip my screen, so just bear with me. There we go. All right. Okay, perfect. All right, my darlings, and I have my glasses handy here because some of these cards are a little bit hard to read. So for those of you, my darlings, that picked the suit of 1, the very first card that you got is self-acceptance. Self-acceptance. So what I am getting for those of you that picked the suit of 1 is somewhere, whether in your relationship or a certain circumstance that has transpired in your life, you were made to feel unworthy. You were made to feel as if though you weren't enough. And the message that your guardian angels have for you, my darlings, that pick the suit of one, is it is time for you to let go, to release, and especially during the time of this full moon lunar eclipse and this Mercury retrograde, powerful energy, but to take the time to release the remnants of yourself that do not feel worthy. You know, the angels remind you, my darlings, to see yourself through the eyes of our divine creator. How would a parent see their child? They would see their child with so much love, like that child is more than worthy, and often that child could do nothing wrong. And that is the message that each of you are getting, that pick the suit of one, that it is time for you to have more acceptance of yourself, of your worth, of your value, of what an amazing and powerful soul you are. And also I'm hearing Spirit say how so very much you bring to others' lives, into the world. It's time for you to let go of those pieces of yourself that have felt unworthy, that have felt like they were not enough, that you've not been enough, whether this is someone else, a partner, a relationship, a family member that has made you feel less than. This frame of thought has to go now. And this week, my darlings, for those of you that pick the suit of one, it is all about self-acceptance. It's about loving you for who you are, your body, your mind, and your spirit. Now, years ago, I was blessed to have a class with Louise Hay. For those of you who know who Louise Hay is, the founder of Hay House. And it was a class on learning to love ourselves, because I think many of us were raised without truly understanding our value and how to love ourselves. And it's 21 days to either make or break a habit, okay? And for 21 days, Louise had us waking up, looking into the mirror and saying, I love you. I really, really love you. And I mean, I look like Medusa when I get up in the morning. And so looking at myself, it was really difficult to say, Salma, I really, really love you. But I tell you, and especially the first few days, I found very difficult. But I think after about 5 days, when I would look into my eyes in the mirror and I would say, Salma, I really, really love you, something clicked. And I thought, I do. I really, really love you. You're an amazing soul. And so that might be something that you guys could incorporate if this message of self-acceptance resonates with you. The very next message that you got, my darlings, that picked the suit of one, is you are never alone. You are never alone. This message comes from, specifically from your guardian angels, from the divine creator. But this message comes from loved ones also in the spirit world that have transitioned over. They want you to know that when we complete our time on this planet, we don't die. We only transition, into a different vibrational frequency. And all of your loved ones, your loved ones, your fur babies, your friends that have transitioned, wish for you to know, my darlings, that picked the suit of one, that you are not alone, that your loved ones in the spirit world know exactly what you are going through, that they are giving you love and support from the other side. Your guardian angels are always with you, guiding you, loving you, protecting you, and never ever forget that the divine Creator's grace is on you, is upon you. You are not alone. So never ever feel that you are alone, no matter how circumstances may feel to you right now. All right, my darlings. The very next card you got, and this is where I'll need my glasses, and this was the abundance angel. So there are specific angels that work on particularly abundance and financial security in each of our lives. And the message that each of you got, for those of you that picked the suit of one, is that there is a lot of stagnant energy that has surrounded you, whether through situations, circumstances that you have gone through, you know, that have been placed on you, whatever it is. And that stagnant energy needs to be released. It can be released through energy healing work, through getting outside, through grounding, and doing stuff to move the energy within your body. Specifically, exercise. Exercise to increase your energy and manifestation abilities. So because of this stuck stagnant energy that has surrounded you, it'll be very, very important for you to get out, to get moving, to exercise, whatever that looks like for you. It could be walking, it could be getting to the gym, it could be getting out in your yard. Some people have early spring, whatever it is for you, my darlings. But the key for you to manifesting quickly is to have very high energy levels. So you need to get out of the stagnation that you've been in for so very long. And the easiest way to increase this energy is through physical movement and exercise. Choose a fun, meaningful activity so that you will look forward to exercising and it becomes its own reward. Because you know, we all have energy centers in our body, our chakras, and they can, yes, get stagnant and clouded, specifically if there's a lot of stress around us in different areas of our life. If we have been ill, that's another reason. So to unlock your manifestation, it's going to be very, very important that you start moving and exercising. All right, my darlings? And once you do that, your guardian angels and guides are saying you're going to open up the flow of abundance coming into your life. All right, my darlings? The very next card you got is the heart's hidden secrets. The heart's hidden secrets. And the message for you, my darlings, that picked the suit of one is apology. So there is most definitely an apology that is needed to be given to someone, or that someone needs to give to you because of something that has transpired within a relationship. This is a time, my darlings, and I feel like the stagnant energy, the fact that you know, the unworthiness, the need for self-acceptance, the angels coming through to let you know that you're never alone. Something may have transpired that has really hurt your heart. And I feel that, the message for you is a need for forgiveness, an apology from someone in your life or from you to someone else. And once that happens, there will be a lot of forward movement and even energy changing in your life. So if you have done someone wrong, rather than keep quiet about it and feel it within yourself, it's better to be honest and to say, hey, I'm sorry. Or if someone has done you wrong, that might be a need for them to do. And obviously, we cannot make people see their mistakes or to even acknowledge what they may have done in our lives. And, we can for our own actions, but not for others. And in that case, I feel, if you can't get an apology, then maybe it might be time to let go and forgive that situation, that person, that circumstance, and just move on. All right, my darlings? The very last card is the love confessions. And the confession that someone has for you, or that you may have for someone else, is I want to make new memories with you. I want to make new memories with you. And maybe prior to that happening, there needs to be an apology. All right, my darlings, I really, really hope that those messages resonated with you for this week. Please take only that which resonates. I try to keep timestamps on my readings, so you can go right to the timestamps and then go to the messages or the suits that you picked. All right. Now, for those of you, my darlings, that picked the suit of 2. All right. Wow. Yes. Okay. Wow. Okay. So for those of you that picked the suit of 2, I think this is a card or a message that came through last week. And if it did, and you picked this message, then take that as extra validation that that message is for you. But the very first card is forgiveness. Forgiveness. So what I'm getting is something, for those of you that picked the suit of 2, transpired that in which there was a need for forgiveness. And it could have been due to the wrongdoing of someone else or yourself. And there is a need for forgiveness in this particular relationship, situation, whatever it may be. It could be platonic, it could be in your love life, but there is most certainly a need for forgiveness. This could even be inner child wounds, I'm hearing Spirit say, that has led into a plethora of many other things transpiring in one's life. And a blockage, I feel, in one's heart space because of a lack of forgiveness for something that someone has done. And, when we don't forgive someone else, it's not hurting the other person. It's truly hurting us. And so forgiveness is so, so important. And remember, my darlings, that when we forgive others, we're not saying that what you did to me is okay. We're saying, I choose to forgive you because I don't want to carry this heaviness in my heart anymore. And I think that once there is forgiveness in a relationship, take this how it resonates with you, wholehearted forgiveness, it will unblock other areas of your life, financially, in your health, in so many ways, because everything is interconnected. All right, my darlings? The very next card that you got is everyone has value. Everyone has value. So if there has been some imbalance in your way of thinking towards others, or others towards you, Spirit is reminding you that regardless of anyone's wrongdoing, or what they may have done, or how they may have hurt you, or vice versa, we are all going through something in our lives, right? And life, what is life? Life is a schoolroom. It's an opportunity to learn, to study, to heal, to have evolvement of the growth, evolvement of the soul. And we have to remember that each and every one of us, regardless of what someone may have done to us, everyone has value. And, we need to really start seeing others through the lens of our divine creator. The love that our creator has for us, we need to also see that in others. And I think, when we change the way we look at things, the things we look at change. All right? One of my favorite quotes. So remember, my darlings, that everyone has value. Even those political leaders or people or whoever that really shake up the world, even they have value. Maybe not for something to teach us, but maybe for us to see what we don't want in our lives. All right? Certain lessons. So everyone has value and something to teach us. The very next card you got, my darlings, for those of you who picked the suit of 2, and this is from the Abundance Angels, and it is focus on your priorities. Focus on your priorities, especially now, especially during this Mercury retrograde. Revisit, finish, revise, anything that you have in front of you. Get things done, because it's a great time, Mercury retrograde, to get things finished and done that you've had on the back burner for a very long time. And it's a perfect card. It's asking you to focus on your priorities right now and get all of those things done that you've been meaning to do. Where you put your focus, my darlings, is where you receive your outcome. Your priorities are calling to you, which may produce a feeling of anxiety unless you give them the time and attention they and you deserve. So even a small amount of time devoted to your priorities each and every day, whatever that looks like, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, an hour, set aside time just to work on your priorities and get those things done that you've been meaning to do. So even a small amount of time devoted to your priorities will help you to feel better and more confident. All right? And it's so true. When we have so many responsibilities on us, sometimes we can feel so overwhelmed. Like, where do I start? How do I start? What do I do? Right? So Spirit is reminding you, one step at a time, one task at a time. Okay? Have patience, but it's Mercury retrograde. So even though, you could have mix-ups in communication, transportation, technology, give yourself a lot of patience, give others a lot of patience, but take little steps every day to accomplish the things that are on your priority list. All right, my darlings? The next card you got, which is your heart's hidden secrets, it is fantasy. Fantasy. Wow. So you could be spending a lot of time fantasizing about things. And I want to remind everyone, fantasy is good, right? Fantasy is good. It kind of gets us away from the stress of everyday life. But fantasy's good in little doses, but not to the point where you're completely in a fantasy and not seeing the reality of things. So, right? It's just like enchantment. Sometimes we need time to play and to have fun and fantasize about our dreams, our goals, whatever it is. However, there is a point where fantasy needs to meet reality. And if there is no reality to that fantasy, then it may be time to let that fantasy go. So fantasizing is important, daydreaming, imagining what could be wonderful. But if that's where the buck stops and there's no forward movement and it's something that can't get you very far, maybe it might be time to close the book on certain fantasies that aren't getting you anywhere. And also on the other side of it, I'm also getting, maybe you need time to daydream and to fantasize about either or. Take it how it resonates with you. Maybe you need time to fantasize and to think about what it is that you're manifesting in your life. Because sometimes, not sometimes, all times, first comes the thought and then comes the action, right? So when we put the seed, that's when things can happen. But we have to make sure that our fantasies have a realistic vision as an ultimate goal. All right, my darlings, I hope that resonated with you. And for the very last message you got from Love Confessions is, yes, wow. I need to heal my inner child wounds. I need to heal my inner child wounds. This is powerful. If you are with a partner, there could be a need, or them confessing that there is a need for them to heal something deep within their heart in order to fully awaken to this relationship. Alternatively, this could be you, your heart confessing that I need to heal my inner child wounds. And often in relationships, it's not just one person. There's two people that need to do some deep healing for overall healing to take place. So please take this how it resonates with you, but there most definitely, my darlings, could be a need to do some inner child healing and healing of old wounds that have transpired in the past to release any blockages in your love life moving forward. Take that how it resonates. All right, my darlings? Well, there you have it for those of you that picked the suit of 2. Now, for those of you, my darlings, that picked the suit of 3. Let's see what Spirit has for you. Wow. Yes, yes, yes. Yes. Oh, wow. This is a powerful, for those of you that picked the suit of 3, wow, powerful messages. The very first card that you get from your angelic team, your spiritual teams of guides, angels, is intention. Intention. It is very, very important for those of you that picked the suit of 3 to be crystal clear on what it is that you want to manifest in your life, especially now. What are your intentions? Are your intentions pure? Are they doable? Are they realistic? Really take time to sit down and think about what it is that you want in your life. What are your intentions? And during Mercury retrograde, you will be revisiting a lot of these things. Maybe something that you thought you wanted 2 years ago is not what you want now. So Spirit is reminding you to sit down and to write out your intentions and be very crystal clear on what it is that you are trying to manifest in your life moving forward. The very next card you got, my darlings, that picked the suit of 3 is stay open-minded. Stay open-minded. So once you have decided on what it is that you wish to manifest, what your true intentions are, Spirit, and you're crystal clear about this direction, then Spirit is saying stay open-minded. Know that once you have prayed for whatever solution, those prayers are always heard, and they will begin to start taking form. So Spirit asks you to stay open to whatever is coming into your life at this time. Don't remain closed-minded, because things that you thought may have happened in a certain way may not happen. It may happen in a completely different way. So stay open-minded to what Spirit is bringing into your life at this time. Also remember that with this full moon lunar eclipse, things are ending. Things are like, there's big realities that are coming to light. As I said, things that you may have wanted in the past are not really what you want now. So stay open-minded and be guided by Spirit. Okay, my darlings? The very next card you got, and that is from the Abundance Angels, and it is that you need to remember to cooperate instead of compete. So the message is cooperation instead of competition. Cooperation instead of competition. sometimes, and I find this I'm a social worker by profession, and I find that, people that are headstrong, they're just go-getter type of people. They tend to, although they may have a big heart, they tend to think with their mind before their heart. And it's very easy for people to get their back up when it doesn't need to be up. Somebody could say something that really offends someone else. And we take things so seriously and so to heart. So, this message, my darlings, is, let there be all open and honest communication between you and others. Don't take things as a competition or as somebody's trying to, get one over on you. That's not what this is about. This time is about cooperation instead of competition, especially within relationships, whether this is a love-based relationship, a platonic relationship with family, friends, loved ones, colleagues, whatever it is. Take it how it resonates for you. There's no need for competition. There's a need for working together collectively, for raising each other up. And when we work in harmony with others, when we truly and wholeheartedly want the best, not only for ourselves, but for others, with an open, honest heart, that's when things start to change and manifest in our lives. So this card reads, what's yours is yours, and no one can take it from you. There is no need to compete, as there is an abundance for everyone. You have complete access to unlimited abundance for yourself and to share with others. With cooperative partnerships, you can accomplish anything. Wow. So, sometimes we let our ego mind get in the way and we start competing with the people who we love the most or the people that are actually on our team. And that's where Spirit is reminding you there is no need for competition. There is a need for cooperation. How can we work together? How can we assist each other to all come up together? All right? What a powerful and beautiful message for those of you that picked the suit of 3. The next card that you got for those of you that picked the suit of 3 is the heart's hidden secrets. And the message that you get is intimacy. Intimacy. Wow. So for those of you, my darlings, that picked the suit of 3, there is a need for there to be more intimacy, more bonding, more confiding in each other, more sensuality in relationships, okay? And I'm referring to romantic relationships first and foremost. That's what I'm getting from Spirit. There has to be more intimacy, more love, more romance, more bonding. Being able to speak to each other honestly and openly. And I'm even hearing Spirit say this is also true for platonic relationships, familial relationships. There needs to be more open-heartedness, more honesty, more communication within relationships. So please, if you have been keeping to yourselves, keeping quiet, I have a lot of clients that'll say to me, I would say, well, have you talked to so-and-so? Have you? No, because I'm not in a good space and I just don't want to talk to anybody. And so then what they will do is they will just kind of stay in a cocoon. And that is not what is required of you right now, my darlings that picked the suit of 3. You're being asked to be more intimate, to be more sensual, to communicate, to bring confidence through communication, to confide in your partners, in your loved ones, in your family, in your friends. Open up that communication. All right, my darlings? And for the very last card that you got, Love Confessions, powerful, powerful card. It is, I am going through a dark night of the soul. I am going through a dark night of the soul. You know, many of you that follow me have known me for years as a medium, as a channel, as a healer. I don't know if I've ever spoken in depth about the dark night of the soul. But the dark night of the soul is one of the hardest things that we will face as human beings here in the physical realm. It is when you feel like everything has come to an end. Everything has concluded. It's like your heart gets turned inside out. Things you thought were real are no longer real. It's the lowest of the lowest point of your life in relationships and whatever. Usually it has to do with your heart. So whoever you're dealing with or yourself could be going through the dark night of the soul. And one thing about the dark night of the soul in reference to relationships is often it could be your soul contract relationship, the person that you're meant to be with, or the one that's here to teach you a lesson in your life, or vice versa. Take that how it resonates with you. Okay? So either you or somebody around you is going through the dark night of the soul. And it is one of the hardest things we could ever go through, as I said, but it brings transformation on the biggest level. So if you are going through the dark night of the soul, my darlings, know that the next step is transformation on enormous levels that can bring changes to every area of your life. Okay? Not easy, but transformational. So allow whatever needs to come up, and that has been coming up, especially around this lunar eclipse, to come up, to let go. It's like one of those things where you're madly in love with somebody and they break your heart and you thought that this was the one, and they have broken your heart, shattered your heart into pieces, like that kind of a thing, where you just are on the ground and you don't think, I can get up from this. Like, it can be grief in the highest level, like losing a child. Like dark night of the soul moments are heart-shattering moments, but they are moments that bring the biggest transformation into our lives. So know that that transformation is upon you. All right, my darlings. That one was deep, but I really hope that it resonated with you. I thank you, my darlings, for sharing, for liking, for subscribing. I try to have my readings up every week. I thank you for following me. I thank you for all your love and support. And I wish you a most amazing and spectacular week ahead, my darlings. All my love. Namaste.